Hey my friends, Paul Ingram here with Longevity Flow Arts. Today we're going to take a look at some very simple drills that we can do to help to open up the hips. If you're dealing with some tightness in the hips, tightness in that lower body, these drills can really help you out. And you don't have to go fast or hard, go slow, take your time. You know, if you're out hiking and you take a little break, good time to do them. If you're working out during your rests, great time to do these drills, these exercises. So we're gonna do everything here on the ground. We're gonna take it easy, and over time, you're gonna start feeling a big improvement in the opening of your hips. So we're gonna take a seat on the ground just like this. We're gonna open up our heels and just have them a little bit past, a little bit wider than hips and shoulders. And we're gonna place your hands right behind you, stabilize your body. And we're gonna start with the right leg first, okay? And we're just gonna take our knee and we're gonna bring it outwards towards the ground right there. And it's okay if your knee does not touch the ground here. And we're just gonna challenge that range of motion a little bit. So wherever the knee kind of just basically stops, you just wanna give it a little bit more press out right there. And then keeping the heel on the ground, we're gonna bring the knee back to the inside to work some of that internal rotation as well. Again, the knee does not have to touch the ground here. You know, if you're doing it and you're kind of up here, got a little bit more stiffness, that's where I was a long time ago. That's okay, just work right there, right? And you just wanna kind of pry it just a little bit. Don't try to just slam it down to the ground or anything like that. We don't wanna hurt ourselves. We wanna make progress gradually opening up our hips. And we're just gonna work this on the outside, some external rotation, and an inside internal rotation, just nice and slow, take your time. A lot of mobility work is actually gonna be slow, not super fast. But the thing that we're looking at here on this particular exercise, this drill, is we wanna try to keep the torso and the pelvis straight. So we're not looking to turn right now with the pelvis and the torso. All right, so we're just gonna do another rep here on the right leg. External and internal. Bring it back to neutral, and let's do a few on the left leg. Again, pressing that left knee out, keeping that pelvis centered as best as you can. It's okay in the beginning if it turns a little bit, that's fine. Work with where you are. It's all about progress. And then we're gonna bring it to the inside, bring the knee inside, internal rotation. And again, don't worry about it if your knee does not touch the ground. Mine's not touching the ground, it's fine. Some days if I'm looser, maybe it does, and other days I'm a little stiffer and it doesn't. Again, just make sure we're focusing on the pelvis, keeping it as centered as possible. There might be a little bit of natural movement in there. That's okay. We wanna try to keep it as straight as we can. So sometimes what I like to do is kind of look at my foot with the leg that I'm working. Maybe we'll try to turn my head, look at my hand. That will help keep the torso from turning to the right here and keep it straight. All right, let's get one more repetition in on the left leg. All righty, right there. Excellent. And let's go ahead and take a look at drill number 2. For drill number 2, we're gonna go ahead and sit in what we call Sawa. I get that name from Silat martial arts. Sawa means snake position, right? You're ready to strike out. You're coiled like a snake and you're ready to strike, right? Some people will call this like 90-90 or shin box. It doesn't matter what the name is. What matters is that we're working this position and we're spending time on the ground, sitting on the ground. Sometimes just sitting in this position, sitting in Sawa, this could be enough, and this could be a good stretch, good opener for that external rotation here of the leg that's in front, and that internal rotation here, the leg that's in back. And if this is enough for you, just go ahead and sit right here and just spend some time right here. You kind of move around a little bit, in and out, you know, kind of feel where does your body need a little bit of work. That's totally good. If you're looking for a little bit more, we're gonna go ahead and work on that external rotation of that front leg first. We're gonna try and bring our chest over our shin right here. You can have the hand out for support, both of your hands. Sometimes I like to press my hand against my foot. And if it's very tight where this feels like, man, I can't quite get my shin or my chest over my shin, maybe you got to start with your chest coming over your knee. That's perfectly fine. And then you can work on gradually bringing your chest towards your foot, okay, and down obviously towards the ground. And a great stretch on the external side. So what I like to do is I'm going to do 5 slow reps, and then I'll hold the 5th one. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and just come on down nice and easy for 1. Inhale my way up. Exhale my way down for 2. Inhale. 3. Inhale. 4. And see if you can get a little bit lower with each repetition. And on the 5th one, I'll go ahead and hold it for about 10 seconds or so. Alrighty. Now for the internal rotation leg here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my foot out just a little bit, and I'm gonna try to get my knee closer to about 90 degrees. Now I'm gonna try to make sure my pelvis is centered. I'm gonna try to keep my chest up nice and high. And then what I'm gonna do, without leaning to the side like this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to lift my foot off the ground just like that. And see if we can get that off the ground about 10 times. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 right there. Now sometimes with that you might get some cramping right there. If you do, just straighten the leg and work the cramp out. If you're getting that cramping, it means that you definitely want to be spending time working that exercise to build the strength in that movement right there and that internal rotation. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side, and we're going to just get some reps in of the same thing just to balance it out. Again, if you're sitting in Sawa and this is enough work right now, that's perfectly fine. Just spend some time here. Start with, try to start with maybe 20 to 30 seconds, work your way up to a minute, 5 minutes, and just work it gradually. But spending time down here on the ground, this is really good for our hips, even our lower back. Sometimes sitting on the ground and being upright, it helps to take some pressure off the back, especially if you're sitting in a chair a lot or sitting in a couch a lot and stuff like that. It's kind of compressing the spine and compressing the hip flexors and all that stuff and shortening those muscles and everything. Sitting on the ground, especially in these different positions, can really help open stuff up just by doing that. So let's go ahead and get some reps on that external rotation leg. We're gonna come down, get 5 reps, holding that last rep. You can exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Here's 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna hold this one once we get down there. Hold for about 10 seconds. And remember, just work to your comfort level. Right, and over time, as you're making progress, you'll be able to get lower and lower and set a little bit further in the position. Let's go ahead and get this internal rotation, my left leg right now, get the knee to about 90 degrees. Make sure that my torso is upright. Now I got a little bit of a slope here that's trying to push me towards the water here. So I'm gonna really make sure I'm stabilizing through the core. And let's go and lift this back leg, see if we can get that back foot off the ground 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you can't get the foot off the ground, that's okay. This is tough. These are muscles, deep muscles that we do not use too often, but will help to not only strengthen the leg in that position, but it will help to unlock that range of motion in that internal rotation. Very, very important. Let's go ahead and get to one more exercise, our final exercise for today. And we'll work a little bit of that hip flexor, and we'll also work a little bit of some spinal twist in there. We might as well, while we're working that lower body, right? The spine connects everything, so it's a good idea to make sure we work a little bit of some spine movement as well. So let's get to drill number 3. All right, for drill number 3, we're gonna come into a lunge position. So we're gonna have one leg. Right now, my left leg is forward, and then I'm gonna kick my right leg back just like this. And I'm gonna plant my hand right on the ground. And I'm gonna keep my chest up. I wanna extend my chest up. And we're gonna drive our hip towards the ground right here. Now, if this is a lot for you, if this is pretty intense, feel free to rest the knee, put the top of the foot on the ground, and you can work it just like this as well. That's totally fine. And if you're feeling good here, you can bring both hands up to your knee right here, and you can really start driving your hips towards the ground. You're gonna get a nice stretch right here in the hip flexor. Very good reversal motion, reversal movement. If you're sitting down in a chair a lot, maybe you're driving a lot, maybe you're sitting on a couch a lot, this is good movement right here to reverse that position. Okay? And we are getting some good compression here past that 90 degrees on that front leg as well. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the right hand back to the ground, take the left hand, I'm gonna close my eyes here so I don't blind myself from the sun, and just twist while we're still sinking the hips. Okay? And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, if this is feeling pretty good, like you've got it, put the balls of your feet onto the ground and straighten the knee and get the knee off the ground right there. Now you're gonna get a little bit more activation in that hip flexor, so you're getting the stretch while you're turning on the muscle. So you're building strength within this new range of motion. All right, and then bring it back down, and let's go ahead and switch sides here. So put the right leg forward. Just start with the left hand on the ground. If you want the knee to be raised, if that feels good, go ahead and do that. Again, chest is up and extended, and we're driving the hip towards the ground. If you want to place the knee on the ground, foot on the ground and work it, that is perfectly okay. If you want to take that another step further and come up, that's good too. Helps to just put a little bit more weight into the driving of the hips to get a little bit more stretch. You can bring your hands up over your head and really get some good spine and chest extension, really open it up with the torso as well. All right, that's perfectly good too. I mean, sometimes as we're working the lower body, it's good to start working the upper body because everything's connected. Right? So we want everything to be open together. Now from here, I'm gonna place the left hand back down. I'm gonna pop that leg up. This time the right hand, I'm gonna reach all the way up and twist. As I'm still driving the hips towards the ground, just getting a little bit of rotation in the spine. And it just feels really good. This is one of my favorite positions to work. Really good. Again, do all these drills in the morning. You do them anytime during the day. And it doesn't take much. Rep them out, maybe 2-3 sets of it. You can do it while you're on a hike, taking a little break. Do it on your rests during your workout, between your sets. All great times to work these drills for flexibility and mobility. And you're still working some strength on the deeper muscles in the legs there, especially in the hips. All right, my friend, I hope that you find these drills, these exercises, these positions helpful. You gotta just stick with it, put some time into it, just work it, whatever you're working out, whenever you're going for a hike. You could do this every day. You can do this 2-3 times a week. This could even be a little bit of a mobility workout session for you and just cycling through, 3, 4, 5 times, maybe while you're watching TV or something like that. Just get on the floor. Again, spend time sitting in these positions. Even just doing that is gonna help to open up the hips there. So if you're suffering from tight hips, give this a try. Come back here after about maybe a couple weeks or a month or what, and let me know about your progress and how you're feeling and if those hips have opened up anymore. These have helped me greatly over the years to pry my hips back open. If you're brand new to the Longevity Flow Arts channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And I'll see you back here next time. Stay safe and stay well. you.